Hi, everybody. So tonight I'm going to be talking about one of my most favorite albums of all time and one of my most favorite artists of all time, Amy Grant. And the album is Heart in Motion from 1991. And I absolutely love this. This is just so cool. It's very just real pretty music, Amy Grant, her voice is so crystal clear and just real nice music. Um, so I've always been a big fan of Amy Grant since I was really like little, like 5 years old. I've been into Amy Grant. So I've always loved Amy Grant. I still love her. And I think she's just so talented. She's an amazing songwriter and singer. And she's just really great. I love Amy Grant so much. Um, so this album came out in 1991. The first song on the album is Good For Me. So in this song, she's kind of saying how how her and this guy are opposites. She's saying like, um, I love to do this and you love to do that. You're like this and I'm like that. And she says, but I still think you could be good for me. So that's cool. So she mentions Mario Andretti in the song. She says, you like to drive like Mario Andretti. So every time I heard this, I thought she was saying you like to drive like Mario and Dragon. And I thought she was talking about like Mario and Yoshi on Mario Kart. But she wasn't talking about Nintendo. She was talking about an actual race car driver named Mario Andretti. So what's cool about that is she got to go to one of his races and like Paul Newman was there and stuff. So that's cool. And she just had a real fun time, at Mario Andretti's race. That was cool. And she talked about that on the Kelly Clarkson show and everything. So that was cool. And then she sang the song Good For Me, and I love that. Okay, so then the next song is Baby Baby, that humongous hit for Amy Grant, and a lot of people really associate Baby Baby with Amy Grant when they think of Amy Grant. They straight ahead think of Baby Baby, the song. And it's really good. Now, when she was writing Baby Baby, she was trying to think of all of the men in her life. This was before she married Vince Gill. She was trying to think of all the men in her life, and she's saying, these guys are kind of like losers. But then she thought about her newborn daughter, and she thought, well, I should write this song about her. So she wrote Baby Baby for her daughter, and that was wonderful. And it's a very beautiful song as well. I love it. Okay, so then the next one is Every Heartbeat. And this is so cool. She's like, ask anyone and they'll tell you it's true. Every heartbeat belongs to you. So she's really making sure this guy knows that he's so very special to her. Then the next one is That's What Love Is For. This beautiful song. That a lot of people have actually covered. Amy Grant wasn't the only one to do it. But a lot of people covered this song, and it's really nice. I think, I'm not sure if Amy Grant wrote that. I don't think she did. But she did write most of the songs on the album. But it's very nice song. I love it. Okay, so then the next one is Ask Me. It's like, ask me if I know that there's a God up in the heavens, and she's just like having hope in God, and that song's wonderful. Okay, so then the next one is Galileo. And I love to play Galileo on Columbus Day because she mentions Columbus in the song. She's like, if Columbus never sailed the ocean blue in 1492, would he be knocking on my door? And would he ever come to knock on my door and stuff? So that's really cool that she mentions Columbus. So it's like a kind of Columbus Day type song. So I played that on Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, whatever you want to call it. But I play that, you know. So then there's You're Not Alone, and in this song she's like really giving people, hope that they're not alone in the world. They've always got God on their side. They've always got people around them. You're never alone. You're not alone. And it's not to be confused actually with her album that was called Never Alone. She had an album called Never Alone. Some people get that mixed up, but they're two separate things. She had an album called Never Alone in 1980, and the song You're Not Alone in 1991. Okay, so then the next one is Hats. I love this song. This is a really cool song. She's being like a mom in this song, and she has all this stuff to do, all these kids to look after her. She says breakfast show is hectic, and um, everything's hectic in her life, and she has all this stuff to do. She has to be a mom and a wife and a lover and all this stuff. And she's got so much on her plate. She's wearing all these hats. She said, "Why do I have to keep wearing all these hats on my head?" She's frustrated. Okay, so then the next one is I Will Remember You, that really pretty song. Gorgeous, real gorgeous song. I Will Remember You. It's very sentimental and pretty. So then the next one is How Can We See That Bar? This one reminds me of like a wedding song. Because she's like, I was standing there dressed in white. How can we see that bar? How can we see that bar? When we get married, how can we see that far ahead and what our life is going to be like down the road? Um, yeah, kind of like her song "Somewhere Down the Road" that she had on that other album. But it's really pretty song. So then the last song is "Hope Set High." So the "Hope Set High" is the Christian song on the album. Like the whole album is not really a Christian album, except for maybe Ask Me is a kind of a Christian song. And then Hope Set High is the last song is of another Christian song on the album, where she says, I know that if anything good happens in life, it comes from Jesus. So she's, staying true to her faith in that song. It's gorgeous. Um, so Heart in Motion was Amy Grant's first like completely secular album. Like in the 80s, she did some albums that were primarily Christian, but had a few secular songs on them, like "Lead Me On" and that other one, "Unguarded." You like "Lead Me On," "Unguarded," and "Straight Ahead" had some Christian and like secular music too, kind of mixed, um, kind of half and half almost. But Heart of Motion was her first pretty much fully secular album. Yeah, those two songs that were more leaning more toward Christian. But this was her first one, and it was a huge success for her. Switching genres and everything, it was difficult for her, but she did it, and it was wonderful. And she really brought her music to a much wider audience as well as a result. So the album artwork of Heart in Motion is so nice. It's got like Amy Grant. She's wearing a purple shirt. She's got a necklace on and she's holding her necklace. She's looking downward. It says Amy Grant Heart in Motion in yellow. It's just very just classy and nice, very 90s looking and just nice. So anyway, I think you would really enjoy Heart in Motion when you listen to it because it's such a gorgeous album with all these beautiful just songs that are just so pretty. And her voice is so pretty, just so crystal clear. The songwriting is just great. Amy Grant is such a very talented songwriter as well. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful album. I know you'd really enjoy it because I love it. And I love to listen to it as much as I possibly can. But anyway, thank you so very much for listening to me talk about Amy Grant's Heart in Motion album. And I'll see you next time. Bye.